Windows Server 2019 System Administration. Welcome back everybody. I'm Prakash Madan, your trainer for this entire series. In today's topic, we're going to talk about one of the important roles that we find under your file services in order to use as a network storage in your network environment. So that is Iscsi. So this Iscsi is actually Internet Small Computer System Interface. So over here, we can use one centralized network storage. Through the centralized network storage, all of the clients, they might be able to utilize the hard disk that's been shared from the centralized storage that you can take some sort of an example as a NAS. So over here, how we can implement, I'm going to tell you in simple, easiest way. Let's say all of these are your client, okay, all these are client. So you don't want this client to use their own hard disk. That means rather than storing their data in locally, their devices or their local drive, if you want to store all of their documents or data in a centralized storage, that means via network. So in that case, rather than using any of the other hardware devices over your network system, we can easily implement Iscsi. That is some kind of your virtual hard disk, but that data will get stored in your centralized hardware. So over here, what we can say, it actually uses your Iscsi itself is act as a one protocol that enables multiple servers and users to access network drives by setting up the shared network storage. That means if I say over here, this is the shared network storage actually. So all of these clients are going to store their data in this shared network storage. So when we talk about the Iscsi, you need to understand clearly there are two components. Okay, two components are there. If we are not able to understand or if we are not able to differentiate between the two components of this Iscsi, trust me, you are going to be in big trouble. Because see, when we implement Iscsi, there will be two components. Number one, initiator. Number two, target. Target means it's a one your network drive actually, network storage. So from this network storage, this target will be treated as a network storage, and the user, whoever is going to utilize that network storage from the network drive, that will be treated as an initiator. That means the one who provide a service is a Iscsi target, and the device that is going to use the network storage, these devices will be treated as your Iscsi initiator. So without wasting your time, so let's go to the server and let's see how we can install this first. Okay, so I'm gonna let's say I'm gonna add it over here, role from the file service. Let's see. Okay, let's go to our server role over here. Let's go over here. I'm gonna add it. So manage, add a role. It's a simple thing, it's a simple role anyone can install. Next, it's a role base. After that, we are gonna choose from here. See, where's the file? See, file and storage. Expand it a bit. You'll find over here Iscsi target server. Okay, so I'm going to click only this one. That means this will be treated as a network storage, Iscsi target. Now the client is a different thing. Okay, now client is going to utilize all of the drives that it is going to share from here. Now there are two things again. How are you going to share those network storage from their Iscsi target? Number one, you can allocate separate hard drive from this computer itself, or you can use this existing hard disk, okay, as an Iscsi target to your client. So right now I'm using my virtual machine, so I'm not going to add it any one extra device, but I can show you, there's one way that you can use some portion of this hard disk as an Iscsi target in your network environment. If you are interested to use the centralized network storage, something like a NAS, in that case you'll have to bring another one hard disk, and that hard disk will be shared to the client as I have shown previously in that image. So let it install this Iscsi target. Okay, now for Iscsi Initiator, nowadays for the client operating system, also your Windows 8 or 10, something like that, you don't have to install any of the role over there. Whereas if we talk about the older operating system, older version of this operating system, we are supposed to install the initiator, download from the net, and so many things were supposed to be done. But at this moment, it works automatically. Okay, congratulations, successfully Iscsi target is installed. Now the next one, when I go to your file service, see, there's a Iscsi. Now I need to, so this is the previously created I get. I'm gonna remove it, okay, because we are going to use it from the fresh, the new one. Okay, no problem. So remove, okay, first I'm gonna disable it and then I'm gonna remove it. Delete this one. It was an older one. It might be installed for some of the client in my network, okay, for this testing purposes. So it's gone now. So after you install this Iscsi role, okay, Iscsi role, after you install, you'll find this blank. That means Iscsi, there's nothing. Now we'll have to configure the Iscsi target for our client. See, it's saying create an Iscsi virtual disk. See, I told you it's a virtual actually, okay. Now I'm going to add it. So first one is that it's going to search for the hard disk, okay, how many physical devices are over there. In my case, I told you I've got only one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new one, okay. I'm going to create a new folder that can be used over here as a your Iscsi target. So I'm going to write it, let's say virtual. I'm going to give this name. Any name can be given, okay. It's in a lab environment, or I must tell you it's a testing environment, so I use this one. In your case, there might be one hard disk, okay. Select it, okay. Next, now it's asking you the specify virtual disk name, okay. Let's say testing, okay. So I suggest you to give a name as per your need, okay. Now next one, now it is asking you what amount of space from the hard disk that I have you would like to allocate for the virtual hard disk as a target, as a Iscsi target. So in my case, I can give, let's say 6 GB, okay. Let's say 6 GB. I'm giving 6 GB. So would you like to have a dynamically expanding? I do believe, since you are going through so many other these videos and you might be working as a system administrator itself, so I do believe you understand the meaning of this dynamically expanding, okay. Now if not, please go through my previous videos so that these things are already explained. So now I'm using only 6 GB of my hard disk. So in your case, if you have got external hard disk, you can specify the amount of space that you would like to allocate for this Iscsi target, okay. So for example, I've given only 6 GB. Now over here you will have to specify the target, new target. This was the older one, okay. I'm not going to utilize it. I'm going to use the new one, new Iscsi target, okay. Now let's give name my new target for Iscsi, okay, Iscsi, okay. Now because it doesn't support the blank space, okay. Now this is the most important screen that you need to understand. If you come over here, that was my older one, you can remove it, no problem, okay. But when I come over here, it is asking you add Iscsi initiators. That means who are the one, which client do you want this Iscsi target to be used, because we are allocating the network storage. Now whom do you want this network storage to be allocated? That means it is secure itself. No one can, other unauthorized people will not be able to use this Iscsi, because that IP of that device, of that operating system itself has to be listed over here. It's a bit secure. Now go to add, and I'm going to give one IP address of my client over here. So my client IP address is this, okay. Now that means only this client will be able to use this Iscsi target, okay. Now this one, see, it is already added. If you have got multiple clients, you can add it over here. Next, of course, we are not going to talk about this challenge handshake authentication, this protocol. We can leave blank as it is, okay. It's not mandatory. Now create. Hope everything goes well. It should be created. Yeah, it's created over here. See, congratulations, it's done. Now this was from your server target site. There are two components. See, I told you. Number one, the target. Second one is initiator. That means for the client. Now we need to see practically whether the client can use this Iscsi or not. Now that's why I'm going to take you to another one, my client PC. It's over here, okay. Let me log in over here. So this is my client PC. I want this PC to be able to use that Iscsi target. Now how will I install this Iscsi? That means how will I bring this Iscsi Initiator over here. You can find it over here normally. So I suggest you go to run over here. I mean to say search and write Iscsi Initiator. It will come automatically. See, Iscsi Initiator. Now it brings this screen. That means now you will have to type the target IP address. Okay, this was the previous one. You can disconnect. Yes, it's not here. Now we'll be doing from the phrase. Now 192.168.1.100 is the IP address of my Iscsi target server. See, it's saying to discover and log on to a target using a basic connection, type the IP address or the DNS name. Of course, I'd like to go with the IP address. Quick connect. Okay, it's inactive. Now choose connect. Connected. Done. Okay. Now if I go over here to my computer screen for this client and I go to this PC, you see there is only one drive. Then where is that Iscsi? You need to go to the disk management first. You go to the disk management, you will find one disk is listed over here and that has to be initialized. Okay, it should be here. Okay, wait, it's coming. Okay, it's not listed over here till now, no problem, because we choose the another one, I guess. Okay, so we are gonna run, we're gonna connect another one also. Iscsi Initiator, that was the older one, I guess. This one, it is inactive. Connected. Okay, connected. Okay, now come over here. Did you see? This is the drive. Okay, now I would like to right click and initialize. Don't forget the virtual disk that you are going to utilize through your Iscsi network storage. By default, it is not initialized. Remember, we allocate only 6 GB. If you are thinking, then why do I have two options over here? Let's see. I'll show you that. Why do I find two? Because I told you that was used for the last some of my old clients. So I'm gonna remove it. No problem. Your disk is only this. Okay. Okay. Now you see, you'll still find it. Did you get that? Okay. Now you'll have to initialize. Okay. Whichever partition you'd like to have over here, MBR or GPT. Okay. Select anyone as per your need. Now initialize. Now I need to format it. Okay, it's same like you using a new hard disk. Done. Now you'll notice that over here in your my computer, one hard disk is listed. See here. I need to format it. Okay, obviously everybody knows that when we bring a new hard disk, initialize the hard disk, that hard disk has to be formatted. Done. Now if I go to my computer from here, you see one drive is listed. Remember, that was the 6 GB. Of course, it's not going to allow you to utilize the full. Now you can use it as if this is your local drive. See here. You can create any amount of file as per the space that's been allowed to you. So that means normally client won't be able to know if they are pre-configured and given as your Iscsi Initiator. Okay, if I go back to my server, this is, okay, where's the server? Here. Now you see that, okay, refresh it once, let it refresh. Okay, see, status, it's connected. Who's connected? This one, this client. Okay, now what amount of space? 6 GB. So it shows clearly. Okay, it's simple. So in this way, actually using this Iscsi file service role over here, we can use this Iscsi as a network storage, actually as a network drive, so that the client or the workstations don't have to have a huge amount of space in their hard disk. They can have their hard disk only for the booting operating system. Rest of the amount of space that can be actually borrowed from the server. So this is actually the concept of Iscsi. Okay, so I believe this is going to help you in order to create some sort of your storage in your network environment. If you find this one is fruitful to you, help you a lot to configure your Iscsi in your network environment, so please do like and subscribe. Thank you.